The events of November 20th, 2024 have changed everything. On that day, a missile attack targeted PA Pivden-Mash in Dnipro, a factory once known as Yuzmash. This wasn't just any factory. It was the beating heart of Ukraine's aerospace engineering. Rockets, satellites, engines, everything that reached for the stars was born there. But now, it's the center of a nightmare. This wasn't the first time the factory had been hit, but it was different this time. It wasn't just destruction. It was something far more deliberate, something surgical. The Russians launched 6 Kh-101 cruise missiles, 1 Kinzhal hypersonic missile, and then something new, something no one had ever seen before. At exactly 5:17 a.m., the nightmare began. Rumors spread like wildfire. Was it an ICBM? Some claimed it was. The Pentagon initially suggested it was an intermediate-range ballistic missile, but the truth came in the form of a chilling announcement from Vladimir Putin himself. This was the 9M729 Orezhnik, a missile unlike anything before it. He called it an operational test. For the rest of us, it was a glimpse into hell. The Orezhnik's name comes from the hazelnut tree. As a child, I remember seeing their strange, hanging flowers in spring, so delicate and innocent. But now, those flowers are a haunting image, mirrored in the warheads of this weapon. The Russians have a tradition of naming missiles after trees, topol, yars. But this one, Orezhnik, feels like the cruelest irony. It evokes nature, even as it tears nature apart. A meticulously coordinated operation. 6 waves of 6 vehicles each, raining destruction on one of the largest industrial complexes in Ukraine. At first glance, the footage seemed to show several missiles each with multiple warheads. But closer analysis revealed the horrifying truth. These weren't just missiles. They were MIRVs, multiple independent re-entry vehicles, each capable of splitting into 6 submunitions. That means 36 individual warheads carpeted the target. And these weren't ordinary warheads. They moved with eerie precision. Despite being an area saturation weapon, the accuracy was unnerving. U.S. intelligence suggests these warheads are likely MARVs, maneuverable re-entry vehicles equipped with terminal guidance systems. Each warhead traveled at speeds exceeding Mach 10, hypersonic velocities that made them all but impossible to intercept. By the time they entered the atmosphere, they were guided by satellite navigation, ensuring that the target was blanketed in destruction. The factory wasn't just hit, it was pulverized. Yuzmash, a sprawling complex of Soviet-era proportions, was carpeted with these warheads. The attack was so precise that even slight deviations seemed deliberate. This wasn't about a single precision strike. It was about overwhelming the target, reducing it to rubble. And perhaps most chillingly, the Orezhnik warheads did not explode. Instead, they relied on sheer kinetic energy. To understand the horror of this, consider the math. A single warhead, weighing around 100 kilograms and traveling at Mach 10, generates kinetic energy equivalent to more than twice that of a Mark 84 bomb. Multiply that by 36, and you're looking at the equivalent force of nearly 80 Mark 84 bombs, enough to level an entire airbase. But these warheads weren't targeting an airbase. They were aimed at a factory, a symbol of Ukrainian resilience and technological prowess. The message couldn't be clearer. Nothing is safe. The implications are staggering. This isn't just a weapon, it's a game changer. NATO airbases, critical infrastructure, even hardened targets like ports or military installations, all are vulnerable to this kind of attack. A single Orezhnik missile can achieve the destructive potential of dozens of conventional ones. And with active decoys and sophisticated countermeasures, intercepting these missiles becomes a near impossible task. Even systems like THAAD or Patriot would struggle to defend against a coordinated assault. What's more terrifying is the broader strategy. This weapon represents a textbook asymmetric response, a hallmark of Russian military doctrine. Why build hundreds of missiles when you can achieve the same effect with a few dozen? A handful of Orezhnik missiles could cripple NATO's entire air force infrastructure in Europe. And even if defenses were established, the cost in time and resources would be astronomical. But there's an even darker side to this story. Intermediate-range ballistic missiles like the Orezhnik blur the line between conventional and nuclear warfare. Without prior notification, any launch could be mistaken for a nuclear strike, triggering catastrophic retaliation. This time, the Russians notified the US in advance. Next time? There's no guarantee. The risk of accidental escalation is horrifyingly real. And then there's the question of why. Why was Uzmash targeted so deliberately? Was it simply to showcase the weapon's capabilities, or was there something more? Ukrainian ballistic missile programs have long been rumored to operate out of Dnipro. Was this an attempt to cripple a burgeoning threat before it could materialize? The answers remain shrouded in secrecy. As I replay the footage frame by frame, I'm struck by the sheer ruthlessness of it all. This isn't just warfare, it's psychological. The Orezhnik isn't just a weapon, it's a statement, a promise of more to come. And as the footage of glowing missile trails over Kazakhstan circulates online, I can't shake the feeling that this is only the beginning. What terrifies me most is the future. How long until this technology finds its way into other hands? What happens when North Korea, Iran, or China deploys their own versions of the Orezhnik? The world is balanced on a knife's edge, and this missile has tilted the blade. The West is scared in a way that it had never been before. Scared not just of what's happened, but of what's to come. And as I watch the footage again, the warheads descending like falling stars, I can't help but think, this is no longer a world I recognize. This is the dawn of a new kind of horror.